Christ is holding,
Huh?
Christ is holding the mystery of the seven stars with his right hand. If Roman Catholic 이거 한 거 같은데? 로만 카톨릭? 그죠?
I don't
로만
know. I don't
카톨릭.
remember.
I remember. I remember. A Roman Catholic priest violate their doctrine. It wouldn't be a serious problem because I read it.
Ah,
Aha!
So that's why I remember. No?
okay.
And the next part, if we deeply think about the term church, then its meaning is against the word. The meaning of the church is the gathering of the people who were called out and came out from the world. If they can be harmonized and lead their life with the word, why did they have to come out from the world? Because they were separated from the world. This became the church. The concept of the church and the concept of the world are quite the opposite. Ecclesia means that
Why are
they
you reading so much?
uh,
Are we
Oh,
supposed
yes.
to take turns? A paragraph each?
short.
No, it's not too short.
The last paragraph is so short.
Okay.
Mm.
Ecclesia means that they were called out from the world by the Lord. They were saved out of the world. For example, the Israelites who were enslaved in Egypt were brought or saved out of Egypt by Moses. This is the pattern of the church. So the world and the church are quite the opposite. This is an important issue whether you love the world or you love the church. Yeah. 누나 읽어.
What? Is it me or David?
누군
Well, I had a comment about that.
Okay, okay.
The um,
Ecclesia.
I'm thinking the concept that's in my mind is live in the world, but not of the world. And it's so that it's you know, I guess, and part of this can be, you know, words or just understanding of how it is, but we're all in the world. We deal with the world every single day, with every breath.
Yes.
But it's an issue of attachment. You know, are we attached, you know, to the things of God or to the things of the world? Even though, you know, God created the whole world, and there's, you know, I think a sign of God in every created thing, but it has to do with the, you know, what is the purpose of being human? And it seems that, you know, our destiny is really a spiritual one, and that is so I think a lot of people in a lot of churches, and I'm not sure how much it applies to this church, um, really don't want to have anything to do with the world or flesh. I know that at least that flesh distinction is not so much in this church as it is in others. But it's I think that's the challenge: is how can you, you know, be totally surrounded with the world and all these worldly issues, but not be attached to them, to transcend them. So That's one of what's going through my mind as I'm reading this. But okay, I can go with the next paragraph unless somebody has a comment. So, okay, the Ecclesia, is that the paragraph where I need to read, or the next one?
The next one.
Next one.
Next
That's what I thought. So the final battle is the kingdom of the world versus the church. They are faced against each other in New Jerusalem and the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel and New Jerusalem were separate societies. It's a war between two societies facing against each other. Who is the enemy that's facing Jesus Christ? He is Satan and Antichrist. Adam is facing against Christ. Satan is facing against God. And the world is facing against the church. If we love the world, we don't love the church. The authority of the church is Jesus Christ, and he should become our own life and the Lord. I think that where he says, if we love the world, we don't love the church. I think that relates to the attachment that I was talking about.
I highlighted it.
Mm.
Yes, I think it is true. Yes.
I think that the attachment, David said, the matter is attachment. But it is written that the authority, matter of authority. I mean, which authority we are under. That's the problem. I mean, we are authority of the Christ, then we are in the church, but we are under the authority of the world, then we are in the world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
소정,
can
you hear me?
Yes.
경선이 called me. There is only Jajin and David. Today, because of my health condition, I don't want to join. But because only 2 people are there, so I join. And which page are you?
We are on page 22.
22.
Just finished page 22.
22, where?
Well, we just finished.
Of 22.
20 start of 23.
Yeah, I see. I will join for a moment.
Okay. And I would like to say something on that sentence. If we love the world, we don't love the church. Jajin and I are reading every morning. We read a book together. Right now we are on a book titled "To Be or to Have." Is that the title?
To have or to be.
Okay, "To Have or to Be," written by Eric Fromm. Yeah, I think for me, if I love the world, it's mainly I'm after possessions. I'm after having something. I'm after owning something. But I think the church is not about possession, but it's rather about a being. So how we are, we are becoming the being or the creature that God had created in the first place. So I think it was last Saturday, or I think it was last Saturday or Sunday that Reverend Lee gave a sermon titled "The Two Paths." One is the path of tree of life, and the other one is on the path of knowledge of good and evil. I think this also can be applied to the tree of life about a being, and it's about church, and the knowledge of good and evil. It's about possession and maybe the world, and that's my feed on this.
I think that we are reading the books "To Have or to Be" by Eric Fromm, and it is talk about we have a two mode of existence. One mode of existence is having, and the other one is being. So it's the same thing. The having is possessions, and the in this book it is called it is now is the kingdom of the world, and the other one, being is the kingdom of the church. Kingdom
Mhm.
of the church. I mean, is the in Eric Fromm's books, it is the being, the mode of existence of being, of exist being. I mean, so that's why I say in the church, I was very, how can I say, impressed. Impressed. That people say that uh, you are a human being, then it's enough. It's enough. Nothing to to have more. It's enough that you are human. It is enough. It is very, how can I say, um I believe in the church, and I'm very impressed by I'm very, how can I say, shocked by the saying, because in the world people say that don't trust don't trust people, don't trust human being. If you trust a human being, then you come to a moment that you are betrayed. And that's why I'm very sad, because they are very, how can I say, people think that they are, who say like that, they are considered as a wise man. So I'm very sad, because in the world I cannot trust anyone. Huh? But in the church, people say that you are enough if you are a human being, and human being is a very, how can I say, human being is the person we can trust, because God, if we under the authority of the world, it is the human being is not enough, but in the authority of the God, the human being is enough. So I'm very I'm very happy when I hear the message. Yes, that's all.
Mm. Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
When I was in my college, I really like Eric Fromm, The Art of Living, to be or to have. And maybe even in the society, everybody want to be, not to have, to be a man. And in literature, many novelists said that we lost our self. There is a lost self. But I don't know who is the who is my real lost self. Um, and I try to be a good person, and I've never done any harm to others. But still, when I see myself, I cannot satisfied with myself, and I cannot love myself, because when I keep looking at me, there is good and evil inside me. There is good point, but there is I have so many shortcomings and defects. I know my defects. So I don't know why I was born in this world. But after listening to the words of God, I realized there are two kinds of men. Existence, yeah, to be is really important, but there are two kinds of men. I only know the man after the chapter, Genesis chapter 3. he is already deviated man, and I lost my real position. And in my deviated position, I try to be good or righteous before God, but it's impossible. But Lavroni mentions that there is a man before Genesis chapter 3. There is a man whom God had created in the beginning. So there is an original man. I've never thought of those things because I only know myself. So I only find defects or shortcomings of myself. But according to the message, there is a perfect man whom God created. After creating man, God said it was so good to see the man. That means Adam didn't do anything. Adam didn't perform any behavior, but just the existence. God saw the existence, and God was so satisfied to see our existence. Our existence is just a hamper of dust, and we are mortal. And but seeing those things, maybe it's just a hamper of soil, but seeing that thing, I was so pleased. So, but we already ate the fruit of knowledge, and another thing, knowledge became our life instead of the real life of God. So um, uh, it's not a matter of our behavior, but it's a matter of our existence. So returning to our real position, our original position is everything to God. God only needs the man he created, but he lost the man. That's why he keeps saying to us, return to your original position. So now after that, I have never tried to change my behavior. It's strange, and the words of God make me free from any concept of sin. And instead of changing my behavior, I just receive a new life from God. And when we receive a new life, we just saw the Jajin's child. The child, everything the child do is receive the food from parents and eating and enjoying the life. So the only thing I do is just eating and enjoy uh, the church life. But the life itself becomes everything because the child keep growing day by day, and if she matures, she realize what to do or something like that. Not because of the not by the law, but by the life. The life itself knows the way to do or to go. So the only thing, just like Jajin said, that man is enough. Being man is enough. Being born as a man is the whole things we already receive blessing from God. So I think just returning to our real self is not easy. because God already showed the easiest way. As soon as we saw Jesus, then we just it's a spontaneously. It's a what is it? It's a just a minute, just a moment. We saw Jesus. We just return to our original position. So how easy it is. So that's the only thing God asked us to do. So, right, Jaji?
That's right. Yeah.
So, is it the text you read?
Ishak, good evening.
There's Michelle.
Yes. Ishak, can you talk? Hi, Michelle.
Oh,
Long
hi,
time no
Michelle.
see.
Hello, everyone.
Are you
Great
at
to
work?
see you again.
When-
I'm still in my office.
Mm. Wow.
And
So-
Have you
I
had
just
dinner
came
yet?
in as what?
Have you had dinner yet?
No,
Um, I had some fruits in between, so my stomach is okay.
Oh, you must be hungry.
No, it's okay. I ate much. No problem.
Mm. Can you read the book, or are you gonna just listen this evening?
I just listened with what Imo shared.
You can
I
see
listened.
the Skype chatting room. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
You can check the Skype chatting, then you can see the files, the path of the church, the 1 to 3. So you download the file 1, and you can see the books we are reading.
Yeah. I
By
think
the
I
way,
got the
Michelle.
material what you posted before.
By the way, Michelle, you had a haircut. New hairstyle, right, Michelle?
But I don't like it. It looks like I'm going to join the military. That's
No,
some of my friends said.
looks like a really young, freshy boy. It's good. Michelle.
Young, fresh soldier.
Yeah, but it's good. Looks good.
Maybe. Thank you.
Suitable to you. I like your hairstyle.
Okay, so
Really, I mean it.
Yes.
My mother also likes the short hairstyle,
Military
but military hairstyle. But my wife
Don't like
doesn't like that hairstyle. So now I'm changes. My woman is changes. So now I'm following my wife's way of my hair. So that's why
Yeah,
I have a long hair.
you have to listen to your wife, Jazin.
but he said his woman changed, so he will listen to his wife.
Yeah, the doctrine of the owner is changed.
Michelle is a new hairstyle, popular hairstyle. My son-in-law David hairstyle looks like you.
Oh,
It's a
Eugene's husband.
fashionable new hairstyle.
This I think this is the cheapest kind of hairstyle because the barbers just shave it off and
No,
cut it short.
it's so expensive.
Here it's cheap.
Yeah. It's a new hairstyle and costs a lot. It costs a lot.
Now is the page number 24, 23.
Didn't you say you have something to say about what we just shared after Hasunimo?
Michelle, can you listen?
I listened while you were saying that we should return to our original position. I just want to say that because the semester is finished and they're offering me summer subjects again. And when I asked about the schedule, the college secretary said that the schedule is 6:30 in the evening up to 8:30, Monday to Saturday. And when I got the schedule, I said, no, it's enough for me. I should take a break this semester break. So yeah, I saw my schedule is getting very complicated and heavy, and it's a very good reminder from Imo that when things get complicated, we just have to return to our original place. So I'm sticking to the things that I just can do, and I'm telling myself that I must learn to refuse already because so much. So thank you for that, Imo.
Okay.
Very timely, very timely.
Yes. Okay.
I think I cannot read the file because right now I'm using my phone, and my computer in the office is
Yeah, it's
not.
okay, Michelle.
Yeah, so
You don't
I'll just listen.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Okay, then is it my turn? Or David? Is it your turn? My turn?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Page 23. Even though there are 7 churches, there is actually just one. In the concept of creation, the 7 churches are just one church. The numeral 7 came out by adding 3 with the numeral 4. In other words, 3 and 4 are added up just as God and man were united, added up together and became one. If we look at a tree, it has roots, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, and a trunk, but they are all included in one tree. Can we consider the branches separately from the tree? No, they are all included in that one tree. Since the 7 are aimed at one church, we can visualize the same picture with a golden lampstand. It's just one lampstand, but it has 7 branches. There are 7 lamps on the tip of the 7 branches of that one lampstand. There are 7 churches in the book of Revelation, but they are standing on one church just like the lampstand. There are 7 branches, so the 7 churches are all aimed at the one church. In worldly mathematics, if we add 3 and 4, it equals 7. But in spiritual mathematics, if we add man and God, it's just 1. Yes.
Oh, I like the final sentence. If you add 3 and 4, it equals 7. But spiritually, it's not. If you add man and God, it is just 1. So true. And nowadays, when I see myself, I realize I'm really nothing without my inner life, without God. Because of my physical weakness or getting old. But the more I realize I'm nothing, the more grateful I feel toward God. Without the life of God, without God, maybe I'm just a field producing stones and scissors, and I cannot make anyone alive. But God keep following me, keep providing His life to me, and God keep cultivating me with His field. And it's not because of my purpose, but because of His purpose. he finally turned me into his field. And last Saturday, Reverend said that to the young generation, soil has only one purpose. The soil's unique function is to receive the seed and yield a lot of fruit, a lot of crops for his master. But when young, sometimes I think that I am an excellent English teacher at school, so I have to do that job or do this, do that. But nowadays I have only one purpose, and how it's so good for me to listen to the purpose of God. It's a really holy purpose, and I'm just being found as a soil is so graceful to me, because my way is limited only for God. But it's so when I think of myself, I feel so I feel so precious. I am such a precious being for God. So if God didn't use me as a soil, the only thing what I do is just produce dust, just like a fine dust, or just yield sons and seeds during my lifetime. But thanks to God, if I make such a beautiful yield, it's because of God, because of the words of God, because of the seed, and because God already allow us to have such a function to produce the seed. So it isn't difficult for me to produce abundant fruit if I truly recognize myself as just a soil. So nowadays I feel really grateful. God is so wise. I cannot fathom the depths of God's wisdom, because God already created me with a handful of dust, with a handful of soil. So it's easy to produce such a thing. But when I consider myself as something great, something gold or silver, I cannot produce anything, because I consider myself as such a different thing. But the Lebanese message make me realize that I am truly, really a soil. And my so nowadays, as soon as I receive the seed and I produce, it's easy to respond to his message, because his message make me so thrilled by gratitude. So it's a mystery of life. As soon as we realize that I'm nothing, I'm just a shape, I'm just a husk. That's why I absolutely need the content, the seed. So if we add man and God, it's just one. It's just me, myself. Maybe God becomes my inner life, but it becomes my true self. So it just becomes one. And in the new Revelation, Apostle Paul Apostle John saw that on the throne there is a little lamb, not God, because God and Jesus already become one. So the true ruler is the little lamb, because they are already become one. Because God already created us. As soon as we contain God's life, we becomes one. So, so it's a kind of mystery to add man and God and becomes one. But not old self. My old life, every day I listen to the words of God. My old self, I realize my old one is dead, and finding my death is a blessing to me. And as much as I find my death, I am born every day as a new man. So that's it. 소정, you disappear.
I think I had too much dinner and I'm feeling drowsy now. Judging your turn.
소정, you have to keep your place. I really want to disappear.
I am here, but I'm just
because of my eyesight.
I just want to lie down.
Keeping seeing the scene, blue light really makes me tired.
Okay. If we visit an automobile assembly line, there are many auto parts, but when they are all used and assembled together, a single automobile is the finished product. While driving a car, no one thinks about the 30,000 parts that make up the car. The parts do not become a car until they are perfectly assembled together. And only then can a car be driven. If those parts are disassembled, it is no longer a car. There are tires, rims, engines, suspensions, bumpers, and lights. But those parts alone cannot be an automobile. No matter how expensive and excellent the parts may be, when you isolate those parts, nobody will call it an automobile. If a car looks like a piece of junk and is full of dents and scratches but still runs, we can call it an automobile. Likewise, in creation, everything is aimed at becoming one and perfectly mature being. 더 읽을까? The seven churches have difficult characters, but they have just one goal. Plants, birds, and fish are all different, but where are they aimed? They are aimed at man, and that's why they are all one. The defects of man's and the tricks of Satan exist even in the church, but within those problems, there is one very unique thing: the united overcomers. That's why God seeks the overcomers, even though the church is in the complicated situation. In reality, the church has many problems. There are problems with Satan, our humanity, and there are many other defects and faults. God is looking for his overcomers. And in them, there isn't a problem with Satan's or humanity. The farmers are only interested in when it's time to harvest. These things are nothing to worry about. The farmer says, I'm only interested in bringing the grains and fruit into my warehouse.
Enough. Good. Misha, will you express your opinion about this?
I think it revolves around the same topic as you have shared a while back, that it's becoming one, although there are many parts, but there's only one. And I remember what Reverend Lee wrote in one of his messages, that there was only one man and one woman. But modern society made things very, very complicated. But because of this understanding that originally there's only one man and one woman, and the two can become one, meaning without all the complexities that the society made, I think any man can marry a woman, or a woman can marry a man. So I thought, oh, that's why it was possible before, that parents will just make their children marry together. And even now in Dago Church, Reverend Lee just recommend one partner with another also. I thought that that's the reason why it is possible for them to become one, just with the recommendation, or I don't know, just with the blessed vision of Reverend Lee in suggesting partners to one with the other. That is what my thought.
Right. And we have many problems in church, but nowadays, Misha, maybe you visited our church how many years ago? 5 or 4 years
8
ago?
years ago already, 2013.
8 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2013 was my first time.
And the church is like a man. The church is growing day by day. And nowadays, when I see the church, it really matures. And just like this, because Reverend Lee wrote this book so many years ago, maybe if he write the book again, and he write it differently. And right here, God only sees the overcomers, right? And nowadays, when I see the church, after the Reverend Lee's hospitalized, what is it? Being hospitalized in Fumi Church, he keep showing us Jesus who cannot come down from the cross, and it's our fate or destiny. There is no one who can not come down from the cross. But when we see Jesus, he's just like God. So we think that maybe he can come down from the cross. When we see his behavior before the cross, but still he is a man, so he cannot come down from the cross, and he was dead on the cross. But strange enough, I can find my lost self when he was dead on the cross. without his death, I've never found my real self. And then maybe I keep wondering in the world because I've never known who I am. But his death, strange enough, made me see my death. And his death make me alive before God. It's a simultaneous instant. As soon as I found my death, I'm becoming alive before God. So how amazing it is. Even though he was dead on the cross, his death united all human beings as one. David used to say that we are one as human beings, as men. It's true. And his death bind us as a man, as men. So because of that, we said that it's a God's power and wisdom. Cross is the God's power and wisdom. And the final sentence that even though we are paying attention to many trivial things, but the farmer's interest, farmer's only concern is I'm only interested in bringing the grains and fruits into my warehouse. So maybe my soil is we have different characteristics. One time, Brother Hunso asked to Reverend Lee, I'm such a useless soil. The other soil is so good, but my soil is right. And even God cannot make use of me because I'm so rotten drain, something like that. But at that time, Reverend said that the seed, the farmer, when the farmer sowed the seed, the farmer see the characteristic of each soil. If you are rotten drainage, rotten pool, then the farmer will sow the seed of watercress, minari. And if you are the sand, the farmer will sow the seed of peanut. If you are the what is it? If you are the mud, then the farmer will sow the red seed of radish. So the farmer doesn't care about the characteristic of the soil because he has a different kinds of seed. So nothing matters to God. So don't worry about yourself. Just like these things are nothing to worry about. Jajin just read this article. So it's according to the seed, according to the farmer. It depends on the farmer, not depends on us. So nothing to worry about, nothing matters. So our creator is such a creator, our God. And so finally we will be harvested as grains and fruits into his warehouse. Right? So David, what do you think of this pearl?
I like the analogy of the soil, the characteristics of the soil are, well, basically, God's seed box has the right kind of seed for whatever soil there is.
Right.
That's an interesting analogy.
I agree. Very nice.
Yeah, it also relates to the parable of the seed, that falls on the, the rock or the path or, the good soil. So it seems there's a optimal situation, but then even when situations are not optimal, there's probably a seed that God can throw, sow that will, do, do His bidding essentially. So that was an interesting thought. And back earlier in the reading, the reference to the automobile and all its different parts. The human body, is a great analogy too, because we've got all these different, parts that are extremely different, but they come together, as the human being. And so those are my thoughts at the moment.
And when I was not before meeting this church, I also attending other church. At that moment, I always want to be the person who is used for God, for God's purpose. And so that's why I'm trying to be something to be suitable for His purpose. Always pray and always pray that please please use me, use me, and I want to be something. I want to be something for you, and I prayed, and but when I came to this church, and I said to the pastor Lee that about my thought, and he said that why this word is so noisy, and because especially in the church, it is because so many people who want to be used. God doesn't need to the kind of person. God gather the person who God wants. That's not your business. It's only your thought. You want to be something, but God don't use the person who want to be used, but He find the person who He wants. So that moment I'm very surprised. I was very surprised that I don't is I maybe I think that in my inner thought I want to be something special. Something special. I mean, because it is something special in the world, also something is used for God greatly. I want to be the big one, So it's not my, how can I say, it's my desire to be, something in the world. It is mixed. Even in appearance, I want to be, someone who is used for God, but it's just my excuse, I think. I just want to be something, in the world. Everybody envy me because I'm the person who is used by God greatly. Huh? But in the church, I found that, yeah, it's my purpose. It's not God's purpose. Uh, God is the person who is in the right position. If the person is not in the right position, then he cannot use him or use her, because he or she is confused, because the God is from God or is from my power, is always confused. So God wants the person who who is the right position. If then after everything happened, and he confessed that everything really, nearly he think that everything is coming from God, not from mine. It's not the appearance, confession, but I think that it's a real inner minded confession, true confession. So he wanted the person who can say that the 100%, devotion for God. So that's why I think that the person who is the right position, God is searching for. So there, at the moment now, I found that God's desire is greater than mine. So I don't to think too much about God's, purpose, because God's desire is bigger than mine. If God wants to, you know, something, then I believe that He will make, the rock shouting. so so in my life, when before meeting this church, I'm very always, uh I'm not enough, I have to preparing something. But after meeting this church, now I'm, how can I say, satisfied. I'm very in the right position. So I think that my desire, my God's desire is greater than mine, so I don't need to be hurry. I just waiting, so I'm, how can I say, now I'm relaxed in the church. I'm very much stayed, calm down in the church. I'm very happy to hear, because I know that God's desire is greater than mine. Yeah, thank you. That's all.
When I listen to Jajin's testimony, it recurs me, reminds me my past life. After moving to this church, I really wanted to devote my whole life to this church, because I wondered a lot when I was in college. But so my name is just chaos, emptiness, and darkness. And God made me alive. His message made me alive before God. So it's natural for me to devote my whole life to this church. So even though I was a high school English teacher, and always I had to be a homeroom teacher, And at the time, the students is around about 60 students, so many students. So I have to go to school because 7 o'clock, the first class, before the class, there's extra class. So I have to go to school early in the morning, around 6 o'clock. And when I came on, it's almost 11 o'clock at night. So it's really difficult, big burden, heavy to me. But anyway, all those hard work made me fail to the ground at last. And when I completely lost my power, so I had to take a 1 year leave from school. And at that time, I don't have any energy, any power, and nobody, even the herb doctor said it was too late to make me survive. At that time, one day, maybe almost I rest an hour, and I had to return to school. So at the time, I really worry about my health, and so one day I went to the meeting, fellowship, and one church brother mentions about the Genesis, and the people gather together, and they make my name reach to the top, something like that. When I listened to the message, David, I don't know the exact expression, but they let's reach, make tower and make my name renowned to the heaven, something like that. I don't know the exact Bible verse, but when I listened to his message at that time, I was so surprised. Day and night, I don't have any rest in my lifetime. I didn't have any second rest. A rest for a second, because I was too busy at home, at school, at church life. And that makes me just not just knock out, exhausted, just lost my whole energy. And when I stand before death, when I listen to the message, deep inside me, there is a nature to make my name renowned. I thought I have lived like that for God, for church. But deep inside, there is my name. There is my nature to make my name famous at church, not to the society. At church, I wanna be a great, just like judging. So it is hidden deep inside me. Satan already gave, because I was not in my original position, I was already deviating. So there is a deep nature to become giant, to become famous in the world. And at that night, I knew that Satan is not a trivial being. Satan is higher than us. His tactic is so higher than us. So he just gave us the nature, the tree of knowledge to become famous, something like that. So even though I have devoted my whole life at church, but it's a mixed. And that night I realized why the high priest must wear the linen clothes. Because linen clothes means God didn't need our sweat, but I sweat a lot because of heavy burden. But and after losing my all health, I realized that I if Satan said to me, live for yourself, then I won't live for myself. But Satan didn't say. Satan just gave the hidden nature. And I thought I have lived for God, for our church. But there is another deep nature, a hidden nature to become giant. So the path to the path to the heaven is quite different from the path to the world. In the world, everyone become to be giant, but God always, just like Judge's testimony, God called His people, who is like one Abraham, who is 100 years old. Even he's the ancestor of the faith, but his faith become useless when he lived with his faith. He just gave birth to Ismail. Ismail means mix his desire with God's purpose, mix his strength, mix his loyalty with God's purpose. Abraham really wanted to help God's purpose, but it was mixed. God will accomplish his purpose with his own way. He doesn't need my sweat. He doesn't need my desire or even my loyalty. In my case, I thought my loyalty, but he doesn't need my loyalty. He accomplished his work with his own way. So that's why we have to wear linen clothes. So after losing my health, I came to realize the secret. So after that, physically, I cannot add any strength because I don't have any strength. I cannot add my sweat, even my loyalty. I cannot do anything for God. So for such a long time, I just stay at my place and like a dead man. If God needs me, I will be used. If God don't need me, then I'll be in darkness in that place. And now I realize God used the person, the people who are totally what is it, useless, not useless, who are return, who is in his appropriate position. That is who realize, I am just a host. I was created as a shape, and I am nothing. I don't have anything. I cannot do anything. It's a Moses confession, but it becomes Jesus' confession and our confession. And God used that person. God seek the only one person He created. That's why we have to return or regain our true position. And then maybe God will start his work. That's the only thing for us to do. So, so Michelle, will you add your opinion? Oh, it's it's become.
No, just amen.
I think Jubek comes to this fellowship, and it's almost 9:30, so maybe.
That's a lot of food for tonight.
Yeah. So maybe there's Lomi and Jubek and Jajin, so I will go. Have a nice fellowship.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
The next, the church is aimed at the kingdom. The how about David? You read this sentence paragraph. David, could you read it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The church is aimed at the kingdom and has a goal of reproducing winners. What is the purpose of our church today? We are here to produce winners, the faithful grains that God's looking for. So we should think of ourselves as a rice paddy, which is cultivated by the farmer. At the present time, it's a farm with grains, and in the future, it will be a warehouse full of grains. Traveling from the field to the warehouse and then to the dining table, the food is consumed and becomes the flesh and blood of the owner. We were in the field of God and then moved to his warehouse, and finally we entered God himself. As we're eating and sitting together, we can become one with God. The goal of church is for its members to become faithful grains and God's winners. Among the 7 churches, they are called winners. The Lord is promising a gift for the winners from this church, and that we can also consider that the church is the place where construction materials are produced. The church is the process of the ore after treatment, and we are aimed at becoming the finished product. We bring the ore from the mines, and after it passes through several processes, it's turned into powder. Within the powder, there are impurities that must be discarded. Likewise, within the church, there are many things that we should discard. In the kingdom, there's nothing to be discarded, but in the church, there are many things. After treatment, the powder is purified, and all you have to do is just put it in the furnace. Then you'll have the finished product.
Yes. 소정 누나 뭐해? What are you doing, 소정? You are dozing now?
She ate so much.
So
Good.
I'm very happy because there he present the final goal to be winner. I mean, after many in the church there is many course, many processes, but we know the final destination to be winners. So many, maybe in the church. So that is very important because it's the process is going on in the church. So that's why the church is so important. I think that the church is kind of a factory to make winners. And so we say sometimes in the church we are very discouraged. When we see something not good for looking, but I think that we know that we is in the process. we are all how can I say, in the process to be purified to be the winner. So we know each other, we understand each other, they are all in the process to be purified to be to be a winner. So that's why we need to understand the other church members in the church. And it's not the final stage. The church is not the final stage. I mean, the final stage is the church is the processing to going to the final stage. Yeah. So we don't have to disappointed in the church because everything is going to his destination, God's destination. That's our belief. That's all.
The same thought as that of becoming an overcomer. Become winners and overcomers.
Mm-hmm. 주뱅 누나 좀 얘기 좀 해주세요. 내가 왜 사회를 보고 있지?
I just wonder how you would feel about what you read, David. You just read an article. I don't know. Sorry, I want to know what do you suggest about it, or what do you think about the article you just read? Because just all the sentences didn't touch me. I'd like to ask you, you eat it and digest it and just feed me, please.
Well, I guess I've never really thought of the church or any spiritual community as a factory, but I can see I think the destiny of life is to grow. Ultimately, it dies and becomes recycled. The atoms do, but the part of that growth process is the interaction, with other people in any given community, whether that be the church or whatever. And so I can see that there's the opportunity to grow and become closer to what God would have us be, to getting back to the original position of clarification of what our role is as a human being in general, and maybe a specific human being. That's one of the questions that I have relative to some of the comments earlier, and my understanding of the church through conversations with Ruth. I have whether it's knowledge or sense or whatever, I don't know, but it just seems that every human being is valuable for for who they are. And sometimes who they are has to do with their perception of, why they're here. And I know earlier people were talking about, wanting to, stand out or be, have a name, for themselves. I think there's a time when that was probably more important to me. I get the impression from, Ruth that she thinks that's what I'm all about now sometimes. but I have a sense of destiny. It's something I've had for since early in my life, that I will in some way make a contribution to the way in which people learn and the way that they learn together. But this idea of patience is important too. I know I'm rambling here a bit, but I'm kind of trying to weave some things together that other people have said, and also understand, myself. So maybe people can provide some insights, at least the church perspective. But I have a sense of destiny, but the fact that I'm not trying to promote myself or to, get a name for myself, and my whole purpose really is to, not my will, but thy will be done. Just that in itself is, it enables me to be calm and patient. I may die tomorrow, but then again, I think it's more likely that I'll live for another 33 years. And so there's time to be refined in the factory, I think in that presentation by Reverend Lee last week on the two paths, he talks about that, God created man in 7 days, and essentially we're going through that recreation process, and, God may not be finished with us yet. So don't get too, we don't want to beat ourselves up too much if we're not who we think we should be, or even who we think God wants us to be. So it's that interaction with, people in the church, people in a shared community, people in this particular chat group, that helps each one of us come to a greater understanding of, who we are, who we're meant to be, and how to, let's say, become winners or overcomers, as Reverend Lee has talked about in this book.
Thank you. And yeah, I like the word interaction, and I absolutely agree with what you just said. And personally, I don't much care about church, because it's beyond my ability. I don't church. I enjoy church, but it just when my relationship or when I get to, as you said about growth, and when I get that matured, it automatically just the church is formed. It's not two different things. When I know my parents' heart for my siblings, when I have a strong bondage with my parents, I can read what they want, or what they want me to be with my siblings. So I don't just say need to pay any extra attention or energy to get along with the other siblings. When I know my parents' heart, it just happens. So I'm also saying this and that, but he said interaction. They can replace the word process. In this church, people say process. It's on the process, but that process is interaction with the people and with the whole environment. Even not only in the church, and also with the other people outside of the church, because all those environments is preparing me to be the person who God wants me to be. The person who God is looking for is not just the special one, not just the person. It can be anyone. From all the interactions, all the interactions lead me to be that person, and also when I become that person is not just the outstanding one, or just some particular people. Just I think the one when God made me and pleased. And I have difficulties at work now, because there are two cases of things happen here. One is about the violence, hurting the handicapped student mentally, and the other one is about sexual harassment. Two big issues are just happening, and as dealing that two things, I don't think that is happening without reason. I think that poses me to have interaction with all related people, kids and their parents, and so all very aggressive situation is happening. And then if it is happening, but the the strange thing is, I'm watching it. I'm in the situation, but I see myself, I'm watching it. That is very that is very relief. I'm watching it. I'm watching it, how it is going. When I think it is things I have to solve, I'll be crazy. But I know it happens, and as dealing with the parents, I'm really dealing it. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to run away. Just I'm dealing it. I'm in that situation. I have no intention to run away from it. I'm facing it. I'm facing it. So I'm watching. I am facing it. That is that makes me amazed. I no longer, whatever happens, I see. I no longer to try to run away. I don't spend any extra energy just to run away. Just I face it. I face it. So because as you said that word interaction, I don't mind interacted with any people in any situations, because there is one belief, all the interactions happening to me can lead me to be the person God can be expressed freely. I'm not working. I'm just facing it, and God, there is a strong belief God is going to working. I think that kind of belief happens, and also that gives me, even in that situation, I can still, I can still have a desire and be in this meeting, because all different things. A lot of things seems same thing, one thing. As you said, interaction. The interaction. So that's why I have no reason to choose this one and that one. So I dare to face all the interactions happening to me. I need to, because it happens because it should be. Even in this very, say, negative situation, all parents are saying sometimes very harsh, sometimes very, whatever they are saying. I know deep in their mind there is a, say, I don't know that exact English word, but anxiety about their kid. Whatever they are saying harsh or whatever they are saying soft, I know their heart. They care. They just they are afraid. They can be afraid or scared what's going to happen to their kid. So I don't take it just from their expression. Now I know what they care. So I feel like I have nothing to lose. If I have to face it, I just face them and say, and I just as talking to them, I also get closer to the purpose. The purpose is all people need to be let's say need to be led. I don't know. I just as talking to them deep inside, I think I care them. I'd like to also say back hard, but even my expression sometimes uh, like that strong. But at the end of the conversation, they say they could see my intention, and they sounded very relieved. Even I said I'm not talking soft, but at the end of the long conversation, they say, "Teacher, now I can see your intention," and with a soft voice. So one thing I know is I'm not talking to them as only a teacher. I am there as the image of God. So I don't need to say color the situation with my own emotions or my experience. That could make the problem confused. So it can.
Did we just lose her?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
In the middle of
Right.
saying.
I think she was about to end anyway.
Maybe
Oh.
she could not recognize that the connection is out.
maybe she's still sharing something.
She is concentrate on her talking. And it's a time. It's already 9. Oh, she's back. She's back.
Yeah.
She's back.
Who is back?
누나가 왔어. You are back. Because the connection of the
Did
internet
you
is
miss me? Really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's
But as
you
just a
set up
quick time, short time.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
so thank you for the summary, David. So I like that word interaction. That interaction. I'd like to replace it to the process. I like this one better. It's more specific. Interaction. So because of the interaction, I no longer feel myself alone. And because of the interaction, I sometimes feel I have a headache. But because of those things, as you said, I grow. I feel myself, I grow. I grow. And I grow. And then at the end, I might bear fruit. Not my own fruit, God's fruit. As I was fed with all the fruits, so I am going to bear those fruits, and they can be eaten. They can be eaten by the others too. And also, I ideally can say the children who, whatever they say, however they say, I know they are afraid, and then they are afraid at the they are afraid. So as talking to each other, we are eating each other. So when they said when they curse, I don't eat curse. I don't eat. I just swallow it. I have that, I have that. What is that? That gut or whatever. I don't get hurt by their curses. But as talking to each other, they are eating me. They are, whatever they just give it to me, I don't give it back to them because I don't have that mind. I don't want to give them more anxiety. Yeah, I don't have that desire. So I'd like to go win-win. I sometimes comfort them. I sometimes scold them. I sometimes get scolded too. But we are having interaction. We are connected. We, as you said, we are weaved. Did you say weaved? I like this kind of relationship. I'd like to feel connected, not with only church members, because the church is not the only Daegu church. It's not. I don't think Daegu church is the only church to God. No. I have my own experience with my family-in-laws. They have very strong bondage. I feel alone. I felt I was left alone. I was not in close family. I didn't like that feeling. So to God, I don't think God just is looking for just the Daegu church. No. I am the member, but I don't think he does, because he's the no. So these days, whoever have a relationship with me, they are church now and in near future too. I don't think in the future. Whenever I talk to the people, they are already church, because I no longer be myself. I definitely know I am the image of God. So whoever talk to me, I talk to them. They are already under God's reign or God's control, or whatever. I feel so. I'd like to say I like that word interaction, and yeah, as you said, not my will. That is my prayer. Not my will, thy will be done. As I deal with the kids and the parents, that is my prayer these days. You?
It seems that interaction is part of the process.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. We know that we are all in the process in our life. We are not the completed one. We are in the process to be, to become something. I mean, to be the one who is the. I hope that it is the. I'm going to the final destination, because Pastor Lee always present that this way is the path to the final destination of God's purpose. So that's why I believe that that I'm in the right path. I hope to be on the right path to be the one, who is a final destination of God. And so now is the time, 9:57, and I think that is the time to say goodbye, everybody. And next time, see you all in the Skype.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interaction.
Yeah, thank
Tonight.
you. Bishop, please let me see.
Cute. So cute.
Let's meet the next Tuesday. Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Good morning for David.
Yes. Good morning.